race fans, and welcome to Five Flags Speedways, home of the Snowball Derby. Folks, if you love short track racing, you are in for a treat tonight here in Pensacola, Florida. We've got super late models. They're going to turn 125 laps here for the Joe Gibbs Racing Off-Season Winter Series, sponsored by Interstate Batteries. That's a mouthful, and Joey, I hope I got it right. My friend, we're here at Five Flags, man. It's about to be a blast.
Exactly, man. The business they say is going to pick up. It's definitely going to pick up here. And some of the guys that we just saw in New Hampshire, they're right there back in the front. Treyes, and who won the race, comes out here in a car that he doesn't really have a lot of seat time in. None of these guys really do, John, but comes out, puts it in the third spot. David Comstock's fourth. So somebody, Chad Cole, second. So this is going to be exciting, man.
Well, Joey, if I'm not mistaken, we seem to have a young man in the crowd tonight who maybe we should talk about for a couple minutes.
Absolutely, man. And I'm excited to have him here at Sim 500 and a part of the Joe Gibbs All-Season Winter Series series presented by Interstate Batteries. But Ryan Cole Wilson, 14 years old. I don't think we've ever thought that when we put Sim 500 together, we'd ever have anybody in the series under 18, but much less a 14-year-old. And I don't even think he's 14 yet. I think he's got 15 through 2018. He's raced USAC quarter midgets. He's won races in the USAC National Pavement Tour in Phoenix, Texas. He swept the inaugural races in Daytona in February of just this past year. He won the battle at the Brickyard Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 2007 and 18. And he's not 14, John, and he's also just coming off the 2018 USAC National Championship. So here we go, man. And he's out here in a sim car, racing in a simulator, and he's qualified 15th. Don't let that fool you. Ryan Cole Wilson is the real deal, and we have an actual champion, a USAC champion that's won at Indianapolis 2 times and Daytona, right here with us.
I'll tell you what, man, all those stats you threw at me, they sound vaguely familiar. For those of us who are older NASCAR fans, there was a young man that came to the sport back in 1992. He had his first race in the Cup Series, which was the same day that the King, Richard Petty, had his last race. A young man by the name of Jeff Gordon came into the series with a bunch of stats just like that. USAC Crown, Silver Crown champion. I mean, just all kind of great open wheel stats. And everybody's like, well, who's this kid? And we all know how that story ended.
Absolutely. You know, and it took Jeff Gordon, his father was right there with him, pushing him and helping him and molding him into the guy that he is today. And that's the same thing with Ryan. He's got a great father. His dad, Jason's out there. The family travels. They love going all over the place. They're actually Alabama natives. So home race for young Ryan Cole Wilson. And this is actually probably his 5th start, maybe at Sim 500 total. But I told his dad, I said, you got to get him in here. We got to put him in the Joe Gibbs series. Last night at Talladega in the Kick-Ass Winter Series, we were racing along, and all of a sudden here he comes blasting by me in the top 10, and I couldn't believe it. I wanted to go faster because I wasn't going to let him beat me.
I'll tell you what, I look forward to watching this young man as he rises through the ranks here at Sim 500. You are a great bunch of guys to run with, Joey. I've only known you guys for a few weeks now, 3 months, but I've been nothing but impressed with all of you. So I'm sure we'll hear great things about Ryan Cole Wilson in the future. In the meantime, folks, we're going to go ahead and run you through our qualifying order. It looks like E.J. O'Rourke, as Joey said earlier, E.J. O'Rourke, with not a whole lot of seat time in this car, he pulls out a 16.653 for our pole to his outside in second place, number 82, Chad Cole. Go ahead, Joey.
Chad Cole, right. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I fell asleep at the wheel over here. Chad Cole is Trey Essen, sorry guys, Trey Essen starting at 3rd spot in the number 40, just coming off the win. David Comstock there, who had the win in the bag until late race contact. He's going off 4th.
That's okay, Joey. We're all jet lagged from that jaunt down here from New Hampshire. Nelson Rivera comes in 5th, Tony Mangi in 6th.
Josh Parker there 7th. This is the guy we got to watch. He had the trouble in the back with Tony Mangi. Watch out for the Josh Parker machine. Chad Coleman, who we talked about earlier, gained some points, just 2 points out of the championship lead.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to have a heck of a race tonight with Jason Jacoby, who was also one of our front runners in the earlier race. He comes in 9th and Nick Silver in 10th. And like you said, Jacoby and Parker, they had good runs going earlier tonight in the modifieds and had some bad luck. We'll see if they can improve anything here. But my goodness, Joey, this is Five Flags Speedway, man. This is the short track king of short tracks, and it's not going to be clean and friendly, I don't think.
My problem is where do we sit? It's just going to be everywhere.
That's right. Well, folks, here we go. We're getting ready to go green. The guys are coming around the corner now. They're going to do, I believe, one more pace lap. The light's going to go off in the pace car, and we'll be going to green shortly. And I tell you what, that's some good-looking cars. And I love the Super Late models, Joey. They sound mean, they drive mean, and they look mean.
And also, let's mention next Tuesday night, Hometown Hero Series. You all saw them here at Five Flags Speedway. The guys that are here at the Sim Racing Network put on one heck of a show. They're back in action next Tuesday night at Lanier. All the information's on the website with the Sim Racing Network. But here we go. It's time to rock and roll. Let's see if these guys can do what those guys did at the Snowball Derby.
It's going to be fun, folks. Here we go. The pace car is in. Green flag will be coming out shortly. O'Rourke leads him down the green. Boy, he got a hell of a start right there. He's jumped out to a good 3-car lead. In the meantime, behind him, they're doubled up. Chad Cole and Transon fighting for second place. Behind them, Comstock in the 42, and behind him, Nelson Rivera in that 22 car.
Man, that sounds so great, these cars. iRacing did a great job. E.J. O'Rourke knows the line. He holds the bottom lane. There comes Trey Edson. He's looking for a back-to-back win here in the Joe Gibbs Racing Series.
Edson's making no waste of time at all. And I don't know what happened to O'Rourke right there, but he just dove down. He's completely off the pace. Off the pace, indeed. I don't think his car's even running. Meantime, that gives Edson the lead, kind of bottles everyone up behind him. Comstock in second. In third and fourth there, we've got the 22 car of Nelson Rivera, and on his outside is Tony Monge, the 92.
Unbelievable. I don't know what happened to the 41 either. We haven't heard anything on the car. But, yeah, give the lead back to Trey Edson. He's going to take them off turn 4 down the start-finish time. They're all single file right now, John. The preferred line, like we saw in New Hampshire, was on the top here at Five Flags. They're all hugging the bottom just like they do down there for the Snowball Derby.
That's right, and what we're going to see in a little while, if this goes green long enough, is that middle line will kick in, and if you come in there about mid to high, arc it down low on a late apex and come out, you get a hell of a drive. In the meantime, look at that. We've got the, we got the 92 car making a challenge for second place on the 42 of Comstock, and I tell you what, that's exactly what Trey Edson up there in the lead. Oh, we got a bumper. God almighty. I'll tell you what, the 82 car gave the 92 car a shot and said, hello, I'm back here, and I'm coming for you.
Not a whole lot of room for mistakes out there and absolutely little contact. Looked like the 42 car pushed up a little bit to give Tony Monge a shot, but he was not able to make that pass. Now Comstock back to the second spot. Everybody, again, still hugging the bottom line, being extremely patient. Only 125 laps here at Five Flags Speedway. Is going to go by extremely fast.
That's right. They're doing laps at about 17.1 seconds, which is pretty doggone quick. So this thing's going to go by fast. And you don't have a whole lot of time to sit back and relax. A lot of these guys, Bounty got a shot in the bumper. He gets a little crooked there. I think he was able to save it and continue on, but he's going to lose a lot of spots. Going to wind up falling all the way back to, I don't know, it looks like maybe 19th or 20th there.
Well, just to kind of recap, still have no word on the 41. I think it was an electrical issue. He's back on the racetrack a couple laps down. The 41 of E.J. O'Rourke, the pole sitter, is back on the speedway.
That's a shame because he was running really good there. Not sure what happened to him. Hopefully we'll get some word on that pretty soon. In the meantime, back up front, Trey Edson's got a lead. It's comfortable, but I wouldn't call it a huge lead. He's got about a car length over the 42 of Comstock. Manji brings up in third place there in the 92. Chad Cole behind him in the fourth. And in fifth place is Nelson Rivera. And it's single file, like Joey said right now, and that might change soon. But, we've got 125 laps, Joey. Maybe these guys are just going to lay back a little bit and get the hang of this track. Because, like you said, not many of them have driven this track before, or even this car for that matter.
At the rate we're going right now, a caution would be helpful, but we'll see. If you go caution-free, what are the tires going to do? If you get a caution, I don't think these guys really know when it comes to pit strategy. Then also, too, John, the pit stops are not as fast. So I don't even know if you can get 4 tires here at Pensacola.
I wish I could answer that for you. To be honest with you, Joey, I'm not sure. I've never run laps here in this car. I know that when we did the snowball event not too long ago, we did see a lot of 2-tire stops. I'm not real sure if we ever saw any 4-tire stops.
Now you just got the Friday night crew showing up out here, your buddy jacking up the race car. So 2 tires, I think, is the most you can get. So a lot of these guys are probably taking it easy, trying to save these Hoosier tires. And if they're running Hoosiers, they could be Goodyear. I don't know, John, but I don't own one.
No, they're Hoosiers.
Okay,
yeah.
They're Hoosiers. We had it right.
And they take a beating. I can tell you that. I have driven the super late model at Bristol, in iRacing, and we went 112 laps before we ever changed tires, and it really wasn't too bad at all. But that's Bristol. Snowball Derby's a little bit different here. The Five Flag Speedway is a different monster altogether.
Going to go back and check on Chad Coleman. He had the big pickup a while ago, points-wise, in New Hampshire. Chad Coleman comes into this event just 2 points behind Chad Cole. This championship is going to be amazing coming down the finish. But right now, with the way they sit, Chad Cole has made those spots back up and has that advantage back on Chad Coleman as he sits back in the 8th spot.
Now, refresh my memory if you can, Joey. How many races are left in the series?
Going to pull that up right now. Next week, the series is going to head in. The series will head into a road course in the trucks. So there's three choices that the fans are going to have on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page. It's either the Roval, it's Charlotte, Circuits of the America, and I think that's it. Yeah, it's one of those 2 tracks. Oh, the Indianapolis Speedway road course. So we'll run that race. Road course again in the trucks, no cautions. And then we also have a crazy Talladega halftime race for the Super Bowl. It'll be aired during the Super Bowl, but it'll be raced next week. And then we come back for the final event on February 4th. It's either going to be Martinsville, Homestead, or Bristol in the trucks.
I'll tell you what, I hope they pick the Roval. That thing is a blast to watch. I've tried to drive it. It's not so much fun to drive, but it's a blast to watch. In the meantime, Joey, back on track. We've actually got one swap for position that just took place back there. I believe it was the 88 car of Jacoby took a spot. He's starting to make his way towards the front. Jacoby started this race in 9th place. He's worked his way up to 6th right now. He just got by Nelson Rivera. So we'll keep our eyes on Jason Jacoby, Mr. Excitement there, Joey. He's got a little bit to prove after that fiasco, the finish he had at New Hampshire.
Yeah, and it was definitely, again, we mentioned that earlier, was what he did not need. And when he looks at this points battle, he's put himself in a big hole. So finishing tonight or here at Pensacola is a major issue. They have got to get as many points as they can to make up for what happened in New Hampshire.
I'll tell you what, back up front, Joey, I've seen a couple cars starting to wiggle a little bit. We're at 23 laps into this race, coming to lap 24. Now it's about the time these tires start to get a little greasy, starting to get a little slick. Comstock was sideways coming off 2 laps ago. Now he's got a challenge for 2nd place from Tony Mangi in the 92. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think Mangi's going to take that spot because Comstock's got his hands full with that car right now.
Yeah, you watch the 42 push up a little bit, and that's all that have to have here. You move up off the bottom line, and you are toast. It's like the freight train at Talladega if you get off the bottom.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that freight train at Talladega is going to play with. When you're that one poor soul that decided to jump out of line, either top or bottom, and you see everybody going by, it's a very helpless feeling.
Well, and I tell you, somebody that may feel helpless right now is Trey Edson. That 92 of Tony Mangi is on fire right now. That hot rod looks to be a little bit better than anybody in the front 4. He's taking a look off each corner, but he's getting a great entry into the corner where it looks like that 40 might be just moving around a little bit in that rear of the car going into the corner.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about there, and you're right. Mangi's on fire right now. His lap times are consecutively faster by about a 10th over Comstock. And what that tells me, Joey, is Mangi's one of these guys that knows how to take care of these tires on these late models, on these super late models. So he's got a little bit left as far as oomph in his tank with these tires. So he's kind of putting some pressure on Edson there, and I think Edson's probably going to start getting nervous.
I tell you what, I know we had a little rocky race in New Hampshire, but how great are these guys here at Sim 500? We're right now still green flag on a track. A lot of these guys don't race, and in a car they don't race. So it's exciting to see this right now. Again, John, if we're out here, we don't know if that caution's going to come by the way it's spread out. Just imagine you got 100 laps to go on your tires. Are you excited about that?
No doubt. I'll tell you what. And that's the great thing about this group of guys you've put together here, Joey. Like you just said, they've got almost zero experience on this track in this car, and yet where we are lap 30 and still green and still doing some decent racing out there. And remember that guy I told you to keep your eye on earlier, Jason Jacoby? Well, here he is now, taking 5th spot away. He's moving up, and he's a man on a mission.
Well, he's just got a little bit more to go. Only a few more cars, and look at that 88 car. That thing is just stuck to the white line, and he's pulling away from Josh Parker right now in pursuit of Chad Cole. So here he comes. That is the fastest race car on the track, is the 88 of Jason Jacoby.
His last 3 lap times have been 17.701, 17.701, and a 17.713. Those are very, very consistent lap times, Joey, and that's what it takes to keep this car going fast.
If you've ever been down the Snowball Derby, this is what you see. Awesome racing, cars slipping and sliding. Of course, today we're here in an afternoon. Temperature-wise, I'm not sure exactly where the track's at, but the track is as hot as you're going to get. Oh, big slip for Edson, and look who's coming to the lead. Tony Manchi in the 92, diving on the inside in turn 1.
Trey Edson got a little slippery there. Got a little loose there coming off of 4, like you said. Slipping and sliding with these old slick tires, and Manji's going to take advantage of that. He's going to take that line down slick to the inside there, making it stick, takes the lead away from Trey Edson. We have a new leader, lap 35, Tony Manji, the 92.
Trey Edson just gave him a little bit of nudges. The 92 got past him just to let him know, hey, I'll be right back. But now what happens with the 92? Does he just walk the dog and pull away? Nobody's done that yet. If anybody can, Manchi could be that guy. And he better do it, too, because that 88's on his way.
Speaking of the 88, last time by, Tony Manji pulled a 17.792. Jason Jacoby pulled a lap time of 17.842. That's a little over a tenth faster. He's coming, Joey. He's coming in a hurry.
Yeah, it's like every time somebody gets to the front, which I know we've only had 2 leaders, they struggle a little bit when they're leading the pack here. And it's usually the guys, I guess, behind watching that entry and watching that exit and being able to have the car to judge off of to keep their speed going. They seem to be a little bit more solid, I guess you say, in the second place. The leader seems to struggle, long story short.
Yeah, a little bit. I see what you're saying there. But you know what I've also noticed here is if you watch Manji's entry into 3 and 4 right here, and he's done it the last couple laps. You see how he kind of arcs it up just a little bit going in, then comes back down low, and then washes up out. If you watch his wheel, he's not putting a whole lot of work in his wheel. Whereas when you go back and watch 40 of Edson there, and the 42, they're both looking like they're batting at flies down there.
Well, here he comes, man. We've been talking about the 88 of Jacoby. He's about to the back deck lid of the 82 of Chad Cole. It's going to be interesting to see if Chad puts up much of a fight when Jacoby gets there. But this could be definitely the Jacoby Manji show before too long, John.
I'll tell you what, Jacoby's last lap was a 17.686. Now, of course, he's had clean air. And just in front of him, it looks like the 82 and the 42 of Comstock start fighting for that position, which is still going to give them give the 88 a chance to get even closer to the back bumper.
Well, just like that, Jacoby is there. Chad Cole makes the pass on the 42 of Comstock. He drove down in turn 3 a little bit too hard. Car slipped up the track. Cole was able to pounce, but what that did was brought Jacoby that much closer. He's on the back deck lid of the 42. Now Jacoby, they come off at turn 2. It's going to be interesting to see. Jacoby needs to get by him pretty quick.
I'll tell you what, this is shaping up to be the race right here of the night. Is this 88 car trying to pick his way up through the group. He ducks down to the inside, going through 1 and 2 of Comstock. He's going to try to make it stick down there on the inside, get a little bit of momentum coming off of 2, and pull down the inside of 42 going into 3. I imagine, we got a slower car up here that might even have something to do with this. And it looks like that's going to be Ryan Wilson. The guys are putting a lap down. That's not saying anything bad about this lap down car, folks. He's, new at this just like the rest of them are. So he's just kind of trying to stay out of the way. In the meantime, the 88 does get by the 42 of Comstock. So move the 88 now up to 4th place, Joey.
I tell you the surprising part, and I'm holding my breath still at this point right now because there's no love lost between that 88 and 42, especially as it just happened in New Hampshire. But Jacoby gets by and nothing right now with the 42. I know they're racing extremely hard, but he needs to get away from Comstock as fast as he can.
Well, if there's anything we've seen about these guys over the last few weeks, they're both gentlemen. Comstock's not a dirty racer. He will give you a bumper if you hold him up too long, but he's not a dirty racer at all. And same thing about Jason Jacoby. We call him Mr. Excitement, but that's because he's just exciting to watch on track like right now. I mean, he's just dicing his way up to this crowd. Like I said, he started the race in 9th place, Joey. Fell back at 11th after about 2 laps, but he's just picking his way back up. Now he's in 4th, and he's definitely chasing this leader down.
He's passed the most cars on the racetrack today, and to do that here under all green flag condition, that just tells you how strong Jacoby is. Now he's looking back at Chad Cole, or looking at Chad Cole right now as the next car to pass here for the 3rd spot. He's still got a lot of work to do. And I think the big thing now is he's got a little gap from the 42, and he can get back to focusing on his line and not focusing on Comstock.
Absolutely. Focus on that rhythm because it's all about the rhythm here at Five Flag Speedway. And I tell you, we're lap 49. We just crossed the line of lap 49, almost 50 laps on these tires, and they still have 75 laps to go, folks. So what we're seeing, if this stays clean and green, these cars are just going to keep getting slipperier and slipperier, looser and looser, like we just saw right there with David Comstock again wiggling real back coming off before there, Joey.
It is, and this is the time. The tires are all worn out. They're slick. The track's hot, so this is where it's at. Chad Cole is probably the best driver out there when it comes to saving his equipment and being there at the end, and he's doing this right now from the third spot. Your points leader right now, stalking the 40 of Trey Edson. Right now they're maintaining their gap too to Jason Jacoby. If you're watching that battle still, Jacoby's not been able to make up that difference right now as like he was earlier. He was so much faster, it seemed like about 15 laps ago.
I think he's just got to get himself calmed down and get back into his rhythm. In the meantime, up front, Tony Manji has pulled out to about a half a second lead, which is the most we've seen all night, Joey. As far as the lead front cars go, that's a pretty big gap between himself and the second place car, Trey Edson. And look at this fight for a second now. Chad Cole's making his move there, Joe.
Chad Cole makes his move for second. He's going to clear. Looks like Trey Edson going into turn 2. Another case of the 40 just getting up out of the groove. The tires are giving up. That helps one guy. That's the 88 of Jason Jacoby. But it also helps the leader as he just continues to pull away. The biggest lead we've seen on the night for Tony Manji.
Absolutely. But watch the 88 car coming off of 2 now and going down in 3. He gets such a huge run right there and makes up so much room on the third place car of Trey Edson there. I predict we'll see Jacoby making moves for that spot here in about 5 laps or so. Like you said, though, up front, Tony Manji's run away with this race. He's out to about 0.8 seconds now, almost a full second lead. That's the most we've seen all night, and he continues to pull away. He's been consistent with his lap times as well, Joey, running right there in the high 7.7 range for 17.77 seconds.
This is racing right here, John. Caution free to this point. I hate to bring it up because as soon as you do, the caution comes out. But this is but this is just absolutely great racing to find out who the best of the best is on the long run. Right now, like you said, 57 down. We still have quite a ways to go to decide who's going to win. But right now, Manji dominated at this point, pulling with the biggest lead we've seen all night.
And what's really impressive about this, Joey, is like you've harped on a couple of times, these guys have very little experience at this track in this car, and they've kept it clean and green while battling each other at the same time for 60 laps almost. And I love that we can see that and say that about these guys. And look at this. Here comes Jacoby in that 88 car. He has decided it's time to make his move for third spot. He's caught Trey Edson, folks. He's going to make that move. Coming down into turn 1, not quite enough to get there, but he is going to get a little bit of a run coming out of 2 right there. But Edson's on the outside, which is kind of the preferred lane right there. In the meantime, he's not giving up Jacoby. He sees that he's faster. He knows he's faster. He just wants to get around this guy as quick as he can without burning his tires up too much there, Joey.
Yeah, and Jacoby now, this is maybe does Trey Edson owe him to have that one. Here he comes right now into turn 1. He enters a little high. He's going to dime in the corner. He just needs that little bit of extra to get that inside lane away from the 40 car.
Now, how long do you think he's going to stay behind Trey before he says hello with his chrome bumper there?
Well, the thing is, too, we got to go back to the points. And if I'm in Jacoby's ear, that's what I'm telling him. You know, you've done a great job. You've come back. You've passed more cars than anybody. But you've got to get maximum points tonight. Don't get wrapped up in that one driver, that one spot. So do it as clean as you can. So with that being said, he's got a long way to do it. But if he wants to win, he's got to do it now. And here he comes.
Ooh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to walk on you, but he went to cut left coming out of 4 right there on the front stretch and got just a little bit loose. So he's going to lose a little bit of ground to Edson in that 40.
He is pushing that 88 car to its limits. You see it push up in the center there through 3 and 4, but on exit, the car looks extremely strong.
Yes, it does. And I tell you what, this is the fight on the track right now, folks, between third place Trey Edson in that 40 car and fourth place Jason Jacoby in the 88. And like Joey has said, it looked like he tried to use a little bit of bumper there. Jason Jacoby, Mr. Excitement, has passed more cars on this track right now than anybody else has tonight. And he's putting on a show right now. He gets back down to the inside of Trey Edson. He's going to lose a little bit of ground right there because the inside is really not the preferred place to pass right there. And he's going to pull right up on that bumper again there, Joey, coming down through 3 and 4.
Well, while they battle, Manji continues to pull away now. We've been watching the battle back there with Jacoby. He's almost 2 seconds behind Tony Manji. And again, no cautions to speak of at this point. We're getting close to halfway here as the 92 continues to walk away from the field.
I tell you what, Manji's loving looking up in his mirror right now and seeing 2 cars fighting for 3rd spot, and he knows the 2nd place car can't really catch him right now. So as long as he's smooth in, smooth off, and doesn't get tangled up in the lap cars, I think he'll be okay.
Well, we say that the 2nd place car isn't doing anything, but look at Chad Cole. He actually is. He's making up ground on the 92. He's reeling him back in ever so nice and easy. The 92 car is still solid through 1 and 2, but Cole is getting a better run off the corner. He cut that gap down about half right there through those corners.
In the meantime, that battle we've been talking about for 3rd place is just about wrapped up as Jacoby finally gets ahead of Edson there. I'm not sure if Edson let him by after seeing a mirror full of that 88 for the longest time. Probably got a little bit nervous and, okay, man, you can go ahead and go. I don't want to get bumped out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and move Jason Jacoby now. Mr. Excitement up to 3rd place. He sets his sights now on 2nd place of Chad Cole.
The 88's got to get back focused on his line. He doesn't have to worry about passing anybody at this point. It's to run as smooth and as fast as you can. His line is superior through 1 and 2. He's got Chad Cole next, but again, Chad Cole, he's got his eyes set on the 96 and Manji, 92 of Tony Manji.
He has made up a lot of ground, Joey, on the 92 car. We thought Manji was going to walk away with this thing, but it looks to me like he's definitely losing ground to Chad Cole in that 82. Last time by, Chad Cole drove a 17.894, whereas our leader turned in a 17.849. So, what, 5/100ths, excuse me, of a second? Not much difference there, and I believe that we could have a fight on our hands here for the lead here in the next 10 laps.
And that's what Jacoby wants to see. He wants to see Cole and Manji battle. Look at Chad Cole, a different line in the corner, really high entry into 3. And let's see what happens on the exit. He is getting really loose. And like I mentioned earlier, he's about the best in the business of saving his tires. Here we're coming to 74 laps of green flag racing. Everybody, even somebody as great as Chad Cole, sliding all over the racetrack.
Looking for that grip, it looks like. Now, folks, if you're just tuning in, I want y'all to understand something. This track right here, iRacing's done a fantastic job with their weather and their daylight and everything, but they've also got dynamic track conditions. We started this race with a green racetrack. We had no rubber laid down, but if you look now going through 3 and 4, we got a nice thick black strip there down on the inside of those turns, and folks, that's what we call rubber on the track, and that place is good. It's where most of the grip is, but it's also going to start getting real slick. Our track temperature, Joey, you touched on earlier, right now is 113 degrees. We start off at 102, so the sun's out, and it's definitely heating up this track. It'll make things a little bit slicker. In the meantime, third place of Jason Jacoby. He's catching these 2 leaders up in front of him. It looks like that gap between the 92 and the 82 has kind of calmed down a little bit, but Jacoby is definitely pulling him back in. Chad
called that lap. He's just trying to get this 82 machine back underneath him. He has been completely sideways at times driving that race car. The 2 cars, and I guess you can judge it on the way they're in the corner and how close they get to that white line. Manji and that 88 have been right on it. Chad Cole about a half car length off, just trying to keep that car from spinning out. So that's right now what Chad Cole's battling. And again, we talk about how great he is. Those tires are falling apart. The only car right now that doesn't seem to be phased is that 88. Here comes Jacoby closing that much closer into Chad Cole.
Absolutely, Joey. I don't know how they do this. These cars, I wouldn't say they're mean when they've been on tires this long, but I'm telling you, I went 112 laps at Bristol, and I was praying for a caution. I mean, it was so difficult to drive that car. I can't imagine what they're doing right now with these tires. 80 laps almost. We'll come down to 3 and 4 here. When we come by next time, we lap 80 of this race, which leaves us 45 more laps to go. I tell you what, they got their hands full, but Jacoby just makes it look like it's easy.
Just 20 laps to go. Manji had a 1.8 second lead on the 88 of Jacoby. That lead now is down to right around a second. Chad Cole right now, look, here we go, coming off of turn 4. He's got the 88 going to be breathing all down his neck. This is going to be exciting, John. 40 laps to go. Is it enough time for Jason Jacoby to get up there?
Absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind that Jacoby can get up there. He'll get past Cole here pretty soon. Like you said a minute ago, Cole's got his hands full. He may not be used to this car after 80 lap old tires, but Jacoby's a late model runner. I've seen him drive a bunch of late model races. Oh, we got a caution on the track. Wow, it took long enough.
Right before they get to lap cars, it's about to get exciting.
Yeah, it looks like we've got one car. Yeah, it looks like I can't tell who it is from here.
Looks like Ryan Cole Wilson. I've got.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan Cole Wilson had a little trouble there in 3 and 4. Roger that. Let's see what we can see here on the replay. Looks like he's got some left front damage, but he got a little bit of help there.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Was that Parker? Yeah, the 23 car. He got turned around there.
Yeah, that's just something that you'd hope we didn't see tonight. But yeah, kind of one of those cautions that did need to happen. Josh Parker elects to drive right over the top of the 05 of Ryan Cole Wilson, but unfortunately we're here under caution on lap 83.
And believe it or not, we got people on pit road, and so far I've seen left tires go on, and now I'm seeing right tires go on. So that's that question there, Joey. They can take 4 tires. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little disappointed. I didn't want to see a caution because these guys were putting on a show on how to drive a car with some old tires.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing up here in the tower to see such a wreck that could have easily been avoided, and what we could have seen had we raced this thing out. Again, the leaders were getting to lap cars, but surprise, 2 tires now. Nelson Rivera is going to be somebody we have not seen in the front. Looks like Nelson's going to take over the lead, and Tony Mangi will be second.
He took 2 tires, huh? Well, this ought to be fun to watch.
Chad Cole had a pretty bad stop there himself. Looks like he's going to come out in the 8th spot. Now we don't have enough time at this point to make up a bunch of ground, especially cars on fresh tires. So it's going to be interesting, John, to see where Chad Cole and some of these guys wind up getting back and finishing up.
Yeah, we're going to let it shake out a little bit here. We're going to go about 1 or 2 more laps, let the scoring get updated there, Joey. But I believe you're right. I believe that Rivera took 2 tires, which is a really interesting call. I mean, I'm not an expert super late models, but these tires are 85 laps old, and he's got fresh ones on the right. I can't imagine that car is going to be fun to handle at all when they go back to green.
And you got to think how many times has Nelson Rivera started a late model race with 85 laps on his left side tires and went into turn 1 leading a race? Probably not many. So if anybody, the 88 of Jason Jacoby should be the one nervous right here starting behind the 22.
Absolutely. I tell you what, I've really got to question that crew chief call there. But hey, it is what it is, and we're going to go ahead and double them up. It looks like they're getting ready to go back to green. The lights are off on the pace car. Joey, take a deep breath, brother. It's about to get crazy.
Yeah, here we go. Nelson Rivera, he's got his belts pulled down tight. Not sure what's going to happen. He's going to get a good start, but he's not going to get away, it doesn't look like. Tony Mangi battles him side by side into turn 1. Everything looks good on the 22 car. He shoves up just a little bit, but it was too much now for the 92. It looks wreck in the back.
We've got a wreck behind him. That looks like it started with Josh Parker. Bad car. Maybe it was a little bit of karma. I'm not sure. No, actually, what happened there, it looks like the 6 car of Lockhart might have checked up a little bit unexpectedly for the 20 car there. 20 car got in the back of him, and Parker was just a little bit of a victim there. Wrong place, wrong time. But now we've got some beat-up race cars, and we're back under caution again.
Cautions. And like Chad Coleman was going to try to put them 3 wide there, and the 6 car just didn't see him coming, and that caused the big one off at turn 2.
That's unfortunate, but like you said, cautions breed caution, especially here at Six Flags, Five Flags Speedway. I'm tired, man. Yeah, I'm a little tired, but that's unfortunate. Well, it looks like Parker's going to go ahead and park it. You see what I did there?
Very good.
Yeah. Parker has decided to pull his car behind the garage. Crucially said it's not worth it. We've got enough car parts we got to buy for now. So he's going to go ahead and park it, and it looks like our lucky dog is going to be the car number 8 of Randy Yoakum. So he's going to bring it around and get his lap back. In the meantime, nobody's going to come down pit road, it looks like there, Joey. So you got what you got now. And is it me, or are they scoring Tony Mangi in the lead there? They are.
Right now, Tony Manji, he did have the lead coming on the outside there of the 22. It's right time for him to get up there. I tell you what, that's just it's a shame to see that wreck happen. A lot of guys taking chances, as we saw the 22 of Nelson Rivera. I think the 6, from what we reported, took some 2 tires, and some of these guys that have got stuck in the back here, like Chad Coleman. Second in points, was only 2 points out tonight of the championship lead. That wreck right there could have wrecked his chances to be champion. Did you like that?
I did. We can do this all night, folks. Stay tuned. We can sit here and play this game all night long. But, yeah, that's unfortunate. He's in 13th right now, but he gave up a lot of spots to Chad Cole. Cole is riding in 5th right now according to scoring. So if this shakes out this way, if this race finishes like that, you're right. That's going to really put a huge crimp in Coleman's hopes for a championship.
Well, hopefully these guys take a breath. I know it's getting down to the pay window time, but what a great race we've had at this point. Got to thank all these drivers for being so cautious and patient earlier. Unfortunate caution that stacked the field back up. But, that's the thing. Cautions breed cautions. These guys have worked extremely hard tonight to put on the race they have. Let's just hope they all can finish what they came here to do.
I'm right with you on that one, Joey. Well, the lights are off on our pace car, folks. We're doubled up. Getting ready to go back to green, coming down through 3 and 4 now. We'll be going back to green shortly. Joey, what you think we're going to have happen here?
I think Manji's going to run away with it, but we'll see. He's going to get the inside. He's got the fresh tires. The 22 could be the downfall again for the 88. And there it is, the restart.
Wow.
Jacoby's going to lose quite a bit of spots as he's pinned to the outside. Trey Edson clears for 2nd. Chad Cole's coming around for 3rd. And there's a battle for 4th now. David Comstock to the inside of the 22 of Rivera.
Rivera's the slow car out there. We got one car way up high in the wall there in 3 and 4. They're going to keep green, though. So here we go. Can Jacoby get around these guys and continue his march to the front that we saw going on earlier? We got another caution out. Oh, this is unfortunate. And that one, Joey, looks like Mr. Wilson back. Matt Wilson back with 29, and Ryan Cole Wilson got together there. That's unfortunate, and it looked like maybe the 05 just went in a little bit too hot there and got into the back of that 29, unfortunately, and that's what brought this caution out.
Yeah, that's the downside of this is, not only do these leaders up here have to be on their P's and Q's and hitting every single mark, then they got to worry about cars racing for 30th, bringing the caution out, slowing down their chances to win the race. So that was another caution we wish we didn't see there, but I know Tony Manji's glad to see it.
Well, I'll tell you what, at this rate, I don't know. I can't imagine the leaders really want to see a caution. This is all about rhythm. This is all about getting into a rhythm and being consistent in your lap times. You're right. As the leader, Tony Manji doesn't mind it, but the guys behind him that we know are fast, guys like the 40 of Edson, the 42 of Comstock, the 82 car. These guys are fast once they get into the rhythm. So I can't imagine they're enjoying all these dang stops that interrupt their race,
Yeah, this is, again, it's no different from the last few laps at Talladega or any other racetrack. You're trying to get what you can. You're on the edge of out of control. So, it's going to be interesting. But, again, that's what happens. Late race caution stack of these fields up. We see it every weekend in the NASCAR Cup Series.
It looks like Rivera had enough of 2 tires. So he went on in there and I guess went ahead and took the rest of his tires there and got that fixed up. So that's going to put him way back in the back there now. So we're going to go ahead and run the top 10 down for you folks real quick. Tony Manji is still leading. Well, not still leading this race, but he's back in the lead, shall we say, Joey. Trey Edson in 2nd, Chad Cole 3rd, David Comstock 4th, Jason Jacoby has made his way to 5th. He was running up in the top 3 for a while there, but the cautions came out and kind of messed his plans up. Glenn Campbell, somebody we haven't talked a whole lot about tonight, all the way up from 17th place to 6th. Nick Silver in 7th. Dwayne Vincent in 8th, and Chris Caboo in 9th, with Chad Coleman falling back to 10th place. Joey, that's going to shake the points up a lot like we mentioned earlier, but now we've got clouds coming over the track, which could cool our temperatures down and our track temperature.
Hey, I just got a chance to catch up with the 41 crew chief there on the E.J. O'Rourke machine. Of course, he was our pole sitter tonight. He pulls down the racetrack early, I think, 2 laps in, they had pedal issues. The pedals are going out in that 41 car. They got it back working. Of course, he got it back on the racetrack, but that's what took E.J. O'Rourke out of tonight's action.
That's a shame, folks. That really is right there, and we'll go into that more later on. Meantime, Joey, we're doubled back up, about to go back to green. The lights are off the pace car. We got Manji on the inside, Edson on the outside, and here we go. Another restart. Let's see how long we go this time. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. Manji's off to the start. He gets a decent lead, but he doesn't get too far ahead of Edson, and Edson pops in the bumper a little bit going down into 1. And that's going to bottleneck everybody going into 2, coming off of 2, going down the backstretch.
Points leader Chad Cole gets sideways. Jacoby's going to get to the outside of him. Sounds like more cars in the wall. Yeah, I couldn't tell who that was. Keep it green. 44 up in the wall hard.
We're on board with the 40 car. We're on board with the 40 car. Sorry, folks, we're having a little bit of technical issues here. Looking out the back side of that car. It looks like Edson might have a little something for Tony Manji here if he can get back up to his bumper. In the meantime, like you said, Coleman got loose back there in that 82 car. Sorry, Chad Cole. I always get those two confused, folks. Sorry about that. He got wicked loose, lost a couple spots. Jacoby took advantage of that. Going to try and continue his march to the front. In the meantime, back up front, the 40 car is just trying to figure out how he's going to get around that 92. It's been kind of difficult to make passes on this track. But, hey, there's always that bumper, correct?
With the fresh tires, that's all you're going to have is the bumper to make passes on cars. It's hard to get that extra advantage when the cars are not sliding around. You see right now Trey Edson trying a different line on the corner. He's getting a great run off the corner, but still not enough to get back to the bumper of Tony Manji.
It looks like these guys are all pretty even right now as far as lap times go there, Joey, which is, of course, going to be with the brand new tires, and we haven't really run a whole lot of green flag laps on these tires, so we're going to see that consistency right now. We're at lap 106, so about 19 laps to go to make something happen. I think you're right. I think we're just going to have to see some guys get very aggressive in their passing, using the car, using that as a weapon, so to speak, and making the pass that way. Like that, right there, we've got a fight and a wreck for third place, and I believe that's going to bring the caution out.
That is not going to sit good for Jason Jacoby, because that was the 42 car of David Comstock that he made contact with. So back-to-back races, those two guys have got into it. It is going to be extremely... Looks like we had a little accident after the fact with David Comstock.
Oh, my goodness. That's going to shake things up big time. Comstock can't be happy about that. And I don't quite blame him. But we did say that. That's going to be the only way to make passes is to get down there and be aggressive with it. But, man, that's unfortunate for Comstock, who had a great race going. Yeah, he got hit again by one car, it looks like. So, let's rack him back up. Oh, and he is right behind Jacoby again. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I was watching the interactions, shall we say, between the 88 and the 42. The 42 was just letting them know, hey, man, I didn't appreciate that. So we're going to run through our top 10 real quick. Believe it or not, Comstock didn't lose a whole lot of spots there, I guess. Or maybe he's just, he just, yeah, he's a lap down now. I'm sorry. So our top 10 is going to be Tony Manji in first, Trey Edson in second, Jason Jacoby up to third place, Chad Cole in fourth, Nick Silver in fifth, Dwayne Vincent in sixth, all the way up from 18th spot. Good for him. Sean Bounty's made a rebound. He's up to seventh. Scott Simley in eighth place. And Nelson Rivera and Doug Simpson round out your top 10. I'm really surprised that I don't even know what I was going to say there, Joey.
It's been a long
I'm surprised
night,
a lot right now at this point.
Well, I tell you what, when you have a few seconds, we talked about the 41 machine of E.J. O'Rourke. He's made his way back to the 11th spot, still struggling with those pedal issues. It's unfortunate for that team, but they are still fighting. They are still in the lead lap, still gaining positions.
Well, that's the way to get it done, too, though. Never quit. You don't know what's going to happen, especially in late stages of these kind of races, late models on short tracks. But that's good to see. But it looks like Comstock's going to go ahead and drop back now. That's what had me so bamboozled there. I was watching the 42. I didn't know what he was going to do with the 88 there. He was right on his bumper for the longest time. He did bump him a little bit at the first part of this caution, but he's going to finally drop back there to his correct spot in the field. The lights are off on the pace car, and we're doubled up. Here we go again, buddy.
Very excited to see. Here we go. We've got the 92 of Tony Mangi and the 88 of Jason Jacoby. We know he's not afraid to use his front horn. We'll see what happens. Trey Edson now gets a great start. He's going to keep the 88 from advancing to the second spot. Mangi holds the inside off of turn 2. Trey Edson looks like he's trying to get back to the bottom, but it looks like Jacoby's going to make that a little difficult.
Absolutely, and I think Jacoby's got his eyes set on that lead. He knows he's right there, but he ain't got a lot of time to get there. So I would not be surprised if we see some more of that aggressive, quote-unquote, passing that we saw earlier. And they are, I mean, they're right there, nose to tail. Mangi, the 92, 40 of Edson, 88 of Jason Jacoby. Behind him, the 82 of Chad Cole, and Nick Silver in 5th. And, folks, it's not over yet. Here we are, lap 115. We've got 11 laps to go in this race. And it's anybody races at this point. They're all bottled up right there. And I tell you what, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go right now.
Trey Edson looking for back-to-back wins. He won a New Hampshire in the modified. He slips a little bit off of turn 4 and loses what I thought was going to be enough to maybe pull the inside of the 92, but he's not. He's back in line, watching his mirror as Jacoby closes a little bit more on him. Chad Cole, oh, a big run in the corner for Jacoby on the back bumper of the 40. I tell you what, I would not want to be the 40 car at this point.
Absolutely not, because as we saw at New Hampshire earlier this evening, Jacoby was leading. Edson wanted that lead and was not afraid to say hello with that chrome bump, that chrome horn. So could we see some payback? Possibly. We know Jacoby is he's not scared to use that bumper. We've already seen it tonight. So here we go, folks. That's it. Lap 118 now. 9 laps to go. Sorry, my math is so far off right now. 8 laps to go. This is what happens when a South Louisiana boy, Joey, is put in front of a microphone, gets all excited, and then you expect him to count too? Come on now.
Yeah, I'm glad you're the one doing it, not me. Off the corner, Tony Mangi still leads, but again, we talked about this earlier with the fresh tires. Everybody hugs the bottom. Oh, wow, Jacoby dove it in there. I thought the 40 was a goner. Jacoby able to get back to the brakes and hold that 88 back enough that he didn't turn the 40. Trey Edson just not able to do much with his number 40 machine. He's, again, off of turn 4. The back end's getting loose, making it that much harder for Jacoby to get around.
I tell you what, it's the only one out there who doesn't seem to be struggling at all getting through the turns is the 92 of Tony Mangi, our race leader. He's got 5 more laps, folks, coming to line right now, 5 to go. I don't know if Edson's going to have anything for him. I don't think Edson can even get to his bumper to even apply the bumper to try and make that pass, Joey.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing we talked about earlier, watching your mirror. Could that be what's keeping Trey Edson from smooth laps to get back to the 92? I mean, he's right there. One bobble out of Mangi, and Edson is there, so we'll see what happens. They go back into turn 1. You can throw the blanket over the top 4. Tony Mangi leads them off turn 2. Trey Edson second. Jacoby third. And our points leader, Chad Cole, right there in fourth. If anything happens, ready to pounce.
And Nick Silver just, oh, look at how loose Cole got just now. That could have been terrible for him to lose it right there. Oh, we got a wreck on the front stretch. And the caution's out. And, folks, that's going to finish our race right there, I do believe. We're on lap 123 of 125. So, unfortunately, we will not get a restart. We're going to try and get a replay for you right here. It looks like the 41 car and a 22 car got together down there. I'm sorry, not the 22 car got spun a little bit first, it looks like.
Yeah, the 22 of Nelson Rivera came off the corner, pushed up to 34, not quite up to the outside wall, made contact with the 34 Sean Boundy, and that was the end of the race right there with that late race caution for guys racing just outside the top 10.
Unfortunately, it's really unfortunate too, and it's unfortunate that Aurora got caught up in that tonight. He's had, but believe it or not, he's still at the moment scored 9th. So we'll let it shake out a little bit, folks. Let him go around another time. Let scoring get caught up. iRacing sometimes can be a little slow with the scoring, but in the meantime, up front, Tony Mangi is definitely going to pull the win off here, Joey. This is the final lap right here. They've already seen the white flag. Checker flag next time by. So it looks like Mangi's going to pull the victory off tonight with Edson in second and Jacoby in third.
John, it's been a great 2 races. It feels like I've done 500 miles up in the booth, but it was exciting. It was exciting to watch both battles and be up here to tell the story. Only a few more races left in the Joe Gibbs Offseason Winter Series. Chad Cole's going to come out of here. We'll update the points, but he should have a sizable advantage going into next week.
Well, I'll tell you what, next week, you mentioned it. We're going to be doing some trucks on road courses, I believe you said.
Absolutely, John, and it's something that when we talk about fish out of water, this whole schedule for the Joe Gibbs series with the midgets at Eldora, you add the modifieds, again the late models, and you take the trucks and go to a track like Indianapolis, the road course there at Indy, or the Circuits of America. We ran that last year at with the Joe Gibbs series. Very exciting race, but again, fans' choice. So it could be, I guess the favorite would be the Roval at Charlotte. So that's what I'm expecting. That's my call next week. Trucks at the Roval.
Will you be doing some laps at the Roval, sir, if that winds up being the case?
I don't know if my vehicle's know how to turn right, John.
I hear you there. Well, folks, we're going to take a brief break right now, and we're going to get our top 3 finishers together for you, get some interviews done, and we'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back to Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. I'm John Mushin. Sitting beside me is Joey Gattino. We have just finished a 125-lap feature of the super late models. Joey, it was amazing to watch. We had 80-some-odd laps of green flag racing. Tires were slick, tempers were short, and we finally got her done.
It was the best, I guess, 3/4 of a race, John, we could expect tonight. A lot better than I thought we were going to have, and it's just a shame we had that caution because there's no telling what would have happened, and I would have loved to seen that 88 car as he was coming to the front, and to watch him and the 92 battle it out there on those old tires would have been just amazing.
Absolutely agree with you there. And speaking of that 88, I understand that you've caught up with him down there. I'm going to get a word with him real quick.
Yeah, back-to-back races on the short track for the Joe Gibbs off-season winter series presented by Interstate Batteries. Jason Jacoby, it's been an up-and-down night, man. Tell us how it went.
Man, I've had a lot of fun. First of all, I really enjoyed racing there with Trey, David, everybody. We have a lot of fun out here. Joey, I cannot thank you enough. At least I think that's Joey in my ear right there. I cannot thank you enough for hosting such an awesome series paired with Joe Gibbs Racing, man. The first race, in hindsight, I would not have blocked on that final green flag lap we had, but I want to do it for entertainment value. That last lap where we were green, I wanted to kind of throw a block and make it exciting for the viewers. But man, the second race was a lot of fun. I didn't know how fuel sensitive these vehicles here are here in sim racing. I didn't take fuel that last caution, and it tightened me up. And I was not expecting that, and I did the best I could. So I had a lot of fun, Joey. Thank you.
And it was great seeing you out there, Jason. We hated to see that caution here at Five Flag Speedway after 85, 90 laps of green flag racing. You guys were slipping and sliding. You crawled back from almost 2 seconds back on the 92 of Tony Mangi, your race winner. But, man, I tell you what, great job tonight. Anybody out there you want to thank, Jason?
Oh, man. Well, definitely everybody involved with putting this on. My stream viewers, thank you so much. And once again, the most important thing, just the viewers in general. And if anyone is looking to get into iRacing themselves, simracingjason.com, no G in racing. And you can find the best, absolute guaranteed lowest prices on computers with iRacing pre-installed.
Awesome job, Jason. We'll see you next week. We don't know where we're going, but we're turning left and right in the trucks, and it's going to be another exciting race. Great job tonight, Jason.
Thank you, Joey. See you guys.
That was our third place runner in the 88 car, Jason, Mr. Excitement Jacoby. And I tell you what, Joey, he never let us down with the excitement.
Absolutely not. Giving it all he's got, and just comes up a little bit short tonight, picking up the win here in Five Flags.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, our second place runner is not too far from you right now, Mr. Trey Edson.
Yeah, Trey's leaned up against his race car, drinking a fresh, cold Gatorade. Trey, great run tonight. We thought you were going to pull the double off. It's just a little too, I guess the cautions basically caught you from winning the second race here tonight in Five Flags.
A little bit. I actually think the caution saved me because y'all saw to that long run. I kind of fell way off. I got a lot of practicing to do before we have that big late model race next week. I don't know what I did wrong. I didn't feel like I was driving the thing hard. And Tony and Chad and Jason they ran me down and yarded me. So kudos to them. The end, we had a restart and Tony jumped up in front of me. It may have been a lane change, but you know, if you want to review that, I'll take the sweep. But for some reason, when he jumped up in front of me, I don't know if he went from third to fourth, but I had a huge run on him. So I took a shot down into one. He blocked it. I had to jam on the brakes, or I'd have called it a huge wreck. That was really my only shot at him. He was super smooth. I told him that after the race. He didn't slip a wheel all night. I tried to put some pressure on him, but he was just super smooth. He had that thing dialed in. And then Jacoby, he's a little aggressive, so I had to kind of pinch the entry and not allow him to get a nose under me. So it's a good night though. First and second, you can't complain about that.
Great race tonight, Trey. It was exciting watching you. Anybody out there you want to thank?
You, man. You put all this together for us, and Boris and JGR and Interstate Batteries, y'all. And of course, John, everybody here doing a great job with SRN. It's fun to be a part of.
Yeah, as if I don't have enough to do, they've put me up in the broadcasting booth, so I can't get fired, I guess, Trey.
Right. You're kind of. I think you do a great job. I was listening. I kind of went back and watched some of the race while y'all were doing interviews before me, and y'all do a great job. So you're doing a good job. So maybe when you hang the helmet up, you know how some drivers just kind of find their way into the booth. So hey,
we're close to that. If I can't win these this year, we're in trouble. Great racing tonight, Trey. Thank you, buddy. Great racing.
Thanks, man.
That was our second place runner, Trey Edson, right there. Joey, I'll tell you what, he's an entertaining little fella.
Trey is he's a great person to have in the league for sure, and we're excited next week. Trey's going to be a part of the Sim 500 late model team that's going to go out there in the SRN Hometown Heroes Series. So again, that's Tuesday night, next Tuesday at Lanier. Trey Edson will be wheeling a Sim 500 car. Of course, David Comstock will as well. And there's a chance I'm going to be out there in the 14, but I've got a little business trip, and I've already started calling some of the late model ringers, but no luck yet.
Well, I look forward to calling whoever sits in that car. I love watching me some short track racing, and Lanier never disappoints. Well, I have made my way down to Victory Lane for the Old Schools Graphics and Designs Victory Lane interview, and I have found our race winner tonight, Tony Mongin at 9-2. Tony, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you guys doing?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not the one sitting here sipping a beer in Victory Lane, my friend. You look like you know what you're doing out there.
Well, that kind of came as a surprise to me. I never considered myself a decent short track racer, but we pulled it off tonight. What an exciting race. A lot of battles, a lot of long runs, just a lot of fun. I am wore out. I am going to have a well-deserved beer in Victory Lane.
Well, my friend, that was fun to watch. I want to talk to you about a couple points in the race. You guys went 80-something laps on green flag. How'd that car react for you on that long run like that?
Well, you know, the tires on the super late model, they're very finicky. And as we kind of went into that 87 lap run, it just kind of kept getting crazier and crazier, and obviously harder and harder to control, especially down the straightaways. You're losing grip. It was really tough to compete at that point, to pass other cars, to do all those things. And so that's kind of what makes me most proud about this race. It was all about tire management. That's all it was about. And I guess you had to go slow to go fast, as the old adage goes. So it was a lot of fun to kind of do that tonight.
Well, my friend, it was very entertaining for us to sit up here in the booth and watch you guys put this show on tonight. Do you have anybody you want to thank for your victory here?
Yeah, I got to thank my spotter, Trevor Edwards. He helped talk me through it and keep me patient. helped me keep the tires on it. I got to thank my sponsor, Best Overhead Doors, and Greg McKinney out of South Carolina. Those guys helped support me a whole lot in my racing career, and I got to thank Boris and everybody at JGR for putting this league on, letting us come out and have a great time with the Joe Gibbs Racing Off-Season Series.
Well, on behalf of the broadcast crew, Tony, thank you for putting on a great show tonight, man. Congratulations on your victory, folks. That's Tony Manji, and the number 92 brings it home to victory lane here at Five Flags Speedway Super Late Model Race for the Joe Gibbs Racing Off-Season Winter Series, sponsored by Interstate Batteries. Joey, man, these guys never fail to provide some great, entertaining racing.
Man, I tell you, John, I had the best seat in the house up here with you tonight. 2 great short track races. 2 great winners tonight, with Trey Edson winning in New Hampshire, and of course Tony Manji picking up the victory here at Five Flags. Real fast points leader Chad Cole comes in to tonight's race at Five Flags, the second event, with only a 2-point advantage. He walks away, increasing his points lead back over Chad Coleman to 10. Jacoby's up and down night really cost him. Scott Simley's going to jump above him, 21 points out of the championship lead, and Jason Jacoby, again, like I said, fell back to 4th, 26 out. So right now, looks like a 2-car race for the championship between Chad Cole and Chad Coleman.
I'll tell you what, and it's not over yet. You've got a couple of weeks left, or a couple of races left in this series. So, folks, we invite you to keep your eyes peeled to the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page, the Sim 500 Facebook page, sim500.com, for all the information you need to keep up with the series and watch these broadcasts. Joey, any last thoughts before we sign off tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Our thoughts and prayers are going out to both Glenn Wood, the Wood family last week, losing Mr. Glenn, and then also the loss of Mr. Gibbs' son. That was a tough break there, and we want to thank them for everything they do with the Sim 500 Racing League. And again, our deepest condolences go out to him for the passing of JD Gibbs.
I absolutely echo that 1,000%. I've never met JD personally myself. I met Coach Gibbs once way back in 1995 at Richmond International Speedway back then. Great guy, very friendly, very down to earth. It breaks my heart as a father myself to watch another man have to bury a child. Our heart goes out to him. Thoughts and prayers go out to him. Thank Joe Gibbs Racing for everything they've put together for this series. Thank you, Joey, on behalf of SRN, letting us be a part of this. It's been a great time so far. I am very much looking forward to the next few races. And my friend, you sound like a professional broadcaster up here in the booth.
Well, don't tell anybody.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here at the Sim Racing Network. We're going to sign off from Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. Myself, Joey, Gattina, Mitch Rollo, we thank you so much for tuning in and being patient with us through all of this. Congratulations again to the number 92 of Tony Manji bringing home the victory tonight. Congratulations to Trey Edson for taking home the victory at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. This is our first doubleheader. Hopefully it won't be our last. Folks, we'll see you next week. God bless and take care.